Alright, so I recently saw this eyeshadow palette here at my local Walgreens. Instantly, I was impressed with the matte shades that you see here. This is not your everyday drugstore type color. It wasn't so much the shimmer shades that caught my attention, more so these beautiful matte shades here, which is something I feel like is essential to any palette. Of course, it does come with, but usually I prefer to use my own brush. Of course, it does come with a brush, of course, with one sponge tip applicator over there, which is not a bad thing. I actually usually like these, especially if you have issues applying your highlight color in the inner corner of your eye. So in this video today, I'm going to be testing out how this product does. I used it once already, but I wouldn't say yes, I fully tested out. So I've gone ahead and applied the e.l.f. This is one of the color correcting sticks. It's called Light Skin Tones. That's what it's called. One for dark and one for light. So, all right, and I've already gone ahead and set my eyes, and I've used this new powder that I'm testing out. This is Aesthetica, and this is their translucent powder. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's somewhere on here. Yeah, it says translucent on the back. So if any of you have tried this out, definitely let me know down below what your thoughts are, because this is actually my first time using it. So far, so good, but you know, the real test is throughout the day. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this color here and see how that does. And honestly, those shimmer shades look like they need to be broken up, because they look too wellly packed it on in there. So we'll see. And the cool thing too, I've already gone ahead and done my foundation. Usually I try not to, but if you're going to do something dark, of course, but it is what it is. The cool thing about already having your foundation on, your concealer on the bottom, is everything is going to stick. You can just kind of breeze through your eye look. And I haven't applied anything else yet on here. I'm just getting all the color up as much as possible. All right, now just went ahead and dipped again, making sure I get all the color off on the outer corner. And I will say, so far, these matte, this particular matte correction is acting pretty awesome. I could probably get a much smaller brush than this to apply it, but I'm just being kind of lazy. And then once you're done, get most of that color off, then you can start blending it inward and upward to really start scoping your eye. So far, I'm very, very impressed by these matte tones. Let me see, I'm sure I got a smaller brush in here somewhere. I'm gonna run with this right here. Just gonna tap it on the tip. There you go. Might make life difficult, right? But if you have to compromise, do what you need to do. Back to blending. And all I'm doing is just deepening the color more and more and depositing as much as possible in this outer corner before I go blending it in, so it can create that nicely faded look. And you can do this with any eyeshadow, because you don't have to have multiple different color eyeshadows. It's just the amount you apply of that color, how much you apply on in one area and how much you fade it out, that creates that transitional look. So that's something else to consider. Alrighty, bam. So far, so good. All right, let's try the other color. I have not tried that either. So now I'm gonna try this highlight color right here, the top one. And it's a very beautiful olive greenish looking matte eyeshadow. And I think this would be cool if you have like any kind of olive green eyeshadow. Yeah, we'll say that. I'm having thoughts now what I want to put over it, but I really want to stick to this palette. So maybe I can save that another time for another look. Oh man. These matte shadow, I'm telling you something, you can always get palettes that are full of shimmers anywhere at the drugstore. But getting matte eyeshadows that truly work, and that's another thing, you know? Like another one I did purchase is very neutral, and this is another one here I'll be doing a review on pretty soon. Honestly, they only have like one matte color here, but no, I'm not gonna do this today. There are only a few companies that actually have some pretty nice mattes, and I'll say the one palette that does have some really nice mattes is the Shea Moisture Desert palette. That really has some nice brown mattes. If you're just looking for something basic, that just to pretty much just use on any kind of look that you're doing, because honestly it's usually the lid color or where you apply the colors that makes everything look different. It's not necessarily the colors all the time, you know what I mean? It's nice to have different colors, but you got to learn how to work with placement and things like that. And yes, your transition color does make it look different, but quite honestly, if you have a lot of different shimmer colors, just having that basic, the thing will help change it up is having that nice transitional palette or tones that you use, because there's some people that don't switch up. I didn't switch up for a while, so, and I'm just working this more so into in the crease instead of going up above in the crease, the outer corner and parts of the lid and the inner corner as well. This is actually a Zoeva dupe brush that I got. I think I got this from eBay or from Amazon. I got it a while back, so let me go ahead and wipe this brush off because I want to reuse it. 325 Luxe Brow Light. That's the name on this dupe brush here. And I'll see about linking it down below if you're interested in getting this, because it's pretty cool to pat on. It's pretty cool to put like right on your lower lash line. I like multi-purpose brushes, so this really came in handy. And I believe it's also goat hair as well, I think. I don't know. And then let's try these shimmers. I don't know if I have a lot of hope for the shimmers. I would say that. So let's try the bronzy shade. Okay, I picked up, surprisingly. It is a very, okay, yeah. It's like I thought it was gonna behave. It just looked like it was just way too compacted. So yeah, I would say I'm not a fan of the shimmer. If you don't want a shimmer eyeshadow that has that's really pigmented, you want something that gives you a light wash, then yes, you can accomplish that with these shimmers. Because there's a lot of people that can wear shimmers, believe it or not, because it has a tendency to highlight all the wrinkles in their eyes. So having a subtle wash is usually, you know, better for those type of people. But for me, it's not. All right, so I'm going to apply some of that same color eyeshadow onto that brush. And this is the cool thing about having a brush like this, is everything will cling onto it. You don't have to really worry about it floating everywhere too much. All right, and I'm going to shake up my glycerin mix. And even so, it's still not a very strong color, but it's enough. All right, I'm just packing more powder on top of the wet look to see what I can get. All right, so we're getting somewhere. So wetting it actually really helped. And I'm just going back to that olive color again and just working to blend out the edges, because we definitely don't want anything harsh looking. I know I don't. Yeah, so I'll say that wetting it and then packing the color back on top really makes it work. But some people might just want an eyeshadow that off the rip just works, you know what I mean? So far, I mean, honestly, this is not bad at all. So the only thing is the shimmers. I was hoping the shimmers were gonna behave something similar to Wet n Wild, I guess because it was in this palette here. But you can tell by the way they did, it's just something about the way they look compacted and don't look moist. And same thing for this one. It kind of has that same look, so I'm not really sure how well this palette here is going to do. I think it's almost probably going to behave the same as the Black Radiance as well, and this is the new one from Remo London, so I'll be doing a review on that one as well once I get the chance to test this out. I'm going to go ahead and put my mascara and everything else on, and then I'll get back to y'all. Alright, so I want to give my overall thoughts on this palette right here from Black Radiance. As much as I love Black Radiant products, I love their pressed powders, their eyeliner, the fine tip one is on point. Did a video about that. That's like one of my favorite liquid liners. I like a lot of their products, but this one, the only thing I would say about it is I wish the shimmers, because the shimmers outweigh the mattes. So the pros I would say about this palette so far is the mattes are amazing. The mattes are pigmented. The mattes go on well with a brush, because that's what I care about. They perform like they're supposed to. They blend well, they go on well, they stay on well. No complaints there. The cons with this palette are these shimmers. These shimmers unfortunately do not have much of a punch when it comes to having something super pigmented on your lids. Now of course you can always do what a lot of people do when it comes to that with different palettes, whether it's from BH Cosmetics or Morphe palette or from wherever. You can always use some kind of setting spray. I prefer to use glycerin mixed with water to create your own little setting fix spray, or or whatever, instead of wasting your setting spray that you could be using all over your face. I'm just saying, I don't like to waste. And use that to apply it, and I showed that in this video how that turned out, and it actually still turned out good. But I know me, I like for stuff to work like how it's supposed to and keep it moving. I guess this is the thing, it comes in this Wet n Wild looking palette, and I was wishing these shimmers was gonna behave like the Wet n Wild ones, cause though that one from that Comfort Zone palette, they ain't no joke. But the mattes in these are, and they work as great as the Milani eyeshadows do. So the matte ones, please, matte. I love the shades because it's something different. And it's about time the drugstore started stepping outside of the neutral colors. Just step outside of it some. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you purchase this palette, I'll definitely love to hear down below from you. Maybe there's some other kind of trick or product that you use to really help these shimmers go on, or just whatever your thoughts are, and I would definitely love to hear it from you. Of course, don't forget to hit the notifications down below if you want to receive updates whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.